Elon Musk visited China, and China loved it. Musk is acting as China's tool. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Elon Musk, owner of Twitter and Tesla, presents himself as a man who speaks truth to power, no matter the cost. Last month, in defense of a tweet where he compared George Soros to Magneto, he even said he didn't care if he lost money for speaking his mind. But when it comes to China, it seems like it's a different story. Last week, Musk concluded a 44-hour visit to China. It was his first visit to China since 2020, when he visited Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory and literally danced to China's tune. Well, that answered my question of what a budget Magic Mike would look like. Musk was just one of a number of business executives who has visited China recently, as China's zero-COVID policy came to a close. But Musk's visit has gotten the most attention. China gave Musk a hero's welcome and used his visit to send a message to the United States. That message? Do not decouple from the Chinese economy. Indeed, according to my favorite Chinese state-run media, Musk's recent visit to China was itself an apparent rejection of the U.S. government's push to decouple from China. And Musk definitely got the message. During his first stop in Beijing, Musk met with Chinese State Councilor and Foreign Minister Qin Gang, Chinese Commerce Minister Wang Wentao, and Industry and Information Technology Minister Jin Zhuanglong, exchanging views on U.S.-China cooperation, the development of new energy vehicles, and intelligent connected vehicles. And probably Dogecoin, because Musk can't go 5 minutes without mentioning Dogecoin. I'm sorry for your loss. Your grandma was a great lady. And you know what else is great? Dogecoin. Qin used their meeting as an opportunity to say that China is committed to offering a market-oriented, law-based, and international business environment for foreign enterprises, including Tesla. He also compared China-U.S. relations to driving a Tesla vehicle, which requires keeping the steering wheel in the right direction of mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and win-win cooperation. As a Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson tweeted, one needs to keep to the right direction, hit the brakes when the road is bumpy, and step on the gas for mutual beneficial cooperation. China was just waiting for the right moment to make a Tesla comparison, which makes sense. Both Tesla's and U.S.-China relations run the risk of crashing and burning. After the meeting, Chinese state-run media reported that Musk opposed decoupling. Honestly, considering how many kids he has, Musk could probably stand to do a little less coupling. China also reported that Musk told Qin China and the U.S. were conjoined twins with inseparable interests, which really doesn't sound like that's a good thing. The first thing people think of when they see conjoined twins is, how can we surgically separate them? Also, China's the type of twin that would eat the other in the womb. Later, Musk had dinner with Zheng Yunchun, who also goes by Robin Zheng. He's the chairman of CATL, a Chinese battery giant and a key Tesla supplier. The dinner was a 16-course horse extraordinary meal, a pun based on the first character of Musk's Chinese name, Ma, which means horse. Musk's next and final stop was in Shanghai. There he met Shanghai Communist Party chief Chen Jining. He also visited his factory there to speak and hand out free burgers, which apparently made the factory workers very happy. Seriously, I'm surprised people have the energy to even smile like this, considering that they're forced to work extremely long hours, which Musk praised them for. They're probably so happy because those hamburgers are the best bonuses they received for working there all year. For all that, China really gave Musk the celebrity treatment. One Chinese social media user called him a global idol, while another wished that China could have someone like Elon Musk. What are they saying? They already do have someone like Musk.
Elon Musk?
Oh!
What are you doing?
Elon Musk is come to China, drive Tesla to see him. I love you, baby. Wow, money,
Okay.
money.
Is it considered parody when that is absolutely something Musk would do? Musk seems to be happily towing the Chinese Communist Party line, but why? I'll tell you after the break. Welcome back. Elon Musk's trips to China seem to have gone swimmingly for China. But why did Musk feel the need to go there in the first place? Musk likes to make it sound like he does whatever he wants regardless of the consequences, but the truth is his main business needs China. Big time. Musk's Tesla Gigafactory in Shanghai is hugely important to Tesla, so he has a lot of vested interest in keeping it running. One analyst from Wedbush Securities investment firm called China's market a golden goose and Tesla's Shanghai factory the heart and lungs of the Tesla production globally. To give you context of just how big China is for Tesla, the Shanghai Gigafactory is called a Gigafactory. It's the factory equivalent of a Giga Chad. How are average factories supposed to compete with that? In 2022, the Shanghai Gigafactory churned out more than half of Tesla's total output, 710,000 vehicles. 440,000 of those went to customers in China. But that's not enough for Musk. His next goal is to increase Tesla's Shanghai production by 450,000 vehicles annually. Musk has struggled to get government approval to make that a reality. He has, however, recently announced a new factory in Shanghai to make Megapack battery units. They store energy from renewable sources. The new factory would make 10,000 battery units per year, the equivalent of 40 gigawatts of storage. To put that in context, the DeLorean from Back to the Future needed only 1.21 gigawatts to travel through time. Is that going to be the newest feature on Teslas? Tesla's new Megapack plant is slated to start production in the second quarter of 2024. Though by Musk's own admission, Tesla still faces constraints, and it's not a demand issue. I wouldn't put it past China to try and pressure him to get some concessions, especially in the tech that China could use against Musk's own companies. Maybe Musk's Starlink low-orbit satellites? And China is well placed to get concessions out of Musk, which is probably why Musk has a long history of bending over backwards to please China's government. That's probably why he dances like someone with crippling back pain. Musk was more than willing to ignore what China's doing in Xinjiang, where China's committing ethnic genocide, remove labels from Chinese state-run media on Twitter, and even say there's a certain inevitability to China integrating Taiwan, even though it's an independent democracy that doesn't want to be under the CCP's rule. China knows that it can bend Musk to its will. In the past, it's shamed Musk when he doesn't do exactly what the CCP wants. And when he gets out of line, such as when he suggested in February that COVID leaked from a Chinese lab, state-run media like the Global Times has reminded Musk to not bite the hand that feeds him. Musk, meanwhile, has had plenty of praise for China. And China's patted him on the back for it. This time, to make sure that he did enough kissing up, Musk gave China one more compliment on Twitter while he was en route to Beijing, before going silent for the longest time in a year since China censors Twitter. When Musk said China had an advanced space program, did he mean they were great at making sure there was lots of space between their people and freedom? Twitter also appears to have disabled the translation button for all tweets in Chinese recently. So what did Musk get out of all this? I'll tell you after this final commercial break. Welcome back. Musk spent a whirlwind 44 hours in China last week, kissing up to the Chinese Communist Party. So, what did Musk get out of the trip? Nothing concrete. Just a lot of nice words, such as how China would cater to companies' demands during plant construction and operation, as well as how Tesla is welcome to bring new products, new technologies, and new services to Shanghai. Elon Musk was happy to get a bunch of useless talk with no action. No wonder he bought Twitter. And I definitely believe China means it when it says it welcomes all those sweet trade secrets, since that has always been its thing. China says it wishes for more Musks to invest and operate in China. What, like this guy? It also claims to be committed to fostering a market-oriented, law-based, and internationalized business environment. Chinese state media tries to paint Musk's trip to China as evidence that U.S. businesses should have firm confidence in the Chinese market. Plus, who doesn't want a 16-course meal? Who isn't happy to look the other way on genocide and tech theft when you can get shrimp balls and cauliflower steak? Yum! But China's actions tell another story. Recent crackdowns on foreign companies with very vague, arbitrary laws are scaring a lot of U.S. businesses. Manufacturers are so nervous that they want to have a Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D. Wow, U.S.-China business relations really are like Tesla's. Both come with tons of different navigation options. Sadly, some businesses aren't as nervous as they should be. They say decoupling is bad, but sticking with China is even worse. Sure, Tesla's making some money now, but by operating in China, it has enabled China to become the largest car manufacturer in just a few short years, surpassing even Japan. All those exports mean cheaper competition ripping off the tech from companies like Tesla, which might not be the safest thing for consumers and isn't in Tesla's interest in the long run. Really, they should probably cha-cha slide their way right out of there. And this show would not exist without support from viewers like you. YouTube frequently demonetizes, suppresses, and secretly unsubscribes people from this channel. Join what I call the China Uncensored 50-cent army by contributing to the show on Patreon. You get a bunch of cool perks, including the ability to ask me questions I'll answer on the show. That's patreon.com/China Uncensored. And today's question comes from Maggot. In my opinion, the real question, the most significant question by far, is will the people of the Republic of China, Taiwan, be willing to fight a serious fight? That is a really important question. One of the reasons Russia has so far failed to take Ukraine is because of how hard the Ukrainians are fighting back. No one would have expected that the Russian military would struggle for over a year with little to show for it. And while the best thing would be to prevent a Chinese invasion of Taiwan from happening in the first place, it is absolutely critical for the Taiwanese to be willing to fight like that. Unfortunately, military recruitment is the lowest it's been in a decade. Not because people aren't willing to fight, but because of Taiwan's low birth rate. That led Taiwan to increase the mandatory military service requirement from 4 months to a year. But in general, it's hard to say how willing people would be to fight. Talk is just talk, and polls can be wildly misleading. One organization's poll had 62% of respondents say yes and 27% say no, while the other survey, with a slight difference in its wording, asked whether you or your family would be willing to fight, found only 40% said yes and 51% said no. People cherry-picked whichever poll suited their narrative. But a lot is on the line for Taiwan. In this episode of our China Unscripted podcast, I'll put a link below, we talked to a China expert who has good reason to believe the Chinese Communist Party would commit to ethnic cleansing of about 10% of the Taiwanese population. So despite what Musk says, Taiwan can't afford to become another province of China. Thanks for your question and your support, Maggot. And thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.